Good day and welcome to S24 Rundown, where we bring you the latest updates, key developments, and major headlines from across the country and beyond. I'm Gloria Atta, and our news in brief comes. Welcome back. Let's begin. Governor Ademola Adeleke has appealed for peace and unity in Osun State following his re-election, while the All Progressives Congress says it is considering its legal options. Adeleke polled 511,067 votes to defeat APC candidate Bola Oyebamiji, who scored 444,815 votes. The governor won 19 of the state's 30 local government areas, while Oyebamiji won 11. President Bola Tinubu congratulated Adeleke, urging him to use his second term to unite the people and govern inclusively. In his victory speech, Adeleke extended an olive branch to his opponents, calling for an end to political violence and reprisals. He promised to consolidate his achievements, correct his shortcomings, and accelerate development under his renewed five-point agenda. The governor also urged traditional and community leaders to promote peace and appeal to residents to forgive one another following weeks of political tension and violence. Meanwhile, the Osun APC says it is studying results from the 332 wards before deciding whether to challenge the election at the tribunal. The party urged its supporters to remain calm and pursue any grievances within the law. Meanwhile, former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai has filed a fresh 10 billion naira fundamental rights suit against the ICPC over alleged denial of access to his wife and son while in custody. In the suit filed at the Federal High Court in Abuja on August 13, El-Rufai alleged that the ICPC stopped his wife, Aishatu Asabe, and son, Abba El-Rufai, from visiting him. He's seeking 9 reliefs, including an order granting him unhindered access to his family and counsel throughout his detention. El-Rufai also alleged that ICPC officers restrained and intimidated his wife and son on July 7, and that the denial of access prevented him from bringing him food, medication, and other necessities. In an affidavit supporting the suit, his principal secretary, Mohammed Shaba, said El-Rufai is being detained at the ICPC office in Abuja. Shaba recalled that Justice R.M. Aikawa on April 1st ordered the ICPC to allow detainees access to their counsel and personal physicians whenever necessary. He argued that El-Rufai retains his fundamental rights, including the right to humane treatment and reasonable access to family members. The latest suit is the former governor's second major legal action against the ICPC. Now, the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, UNODC, has called for stronger collaboration with Nigeria's mining marshals amid growing concerns over links between illegal mining, organized crime, and terrorism. The call was made during a strategic visit by a UNODC delegation to the Mining Marshal Corps. The delegation, led by the Chief of Africa Section of the Terrorism Prevention Branch, Tullio Santini, commended the unit's effort in tackling illegal mining and related crimes. A major focus of the meeting was the Connect initiative, designed to strengthen cooperation between law enforcement agencies in disrupting financial and operational links between criminal and terrorist groups. Nigeria is among the countries invited to participate in the initiative, which is scheduled for launch in November 2026. The commander of the mining marshals, John Atta, said previous UNODC-supported training had improved collaboration between marshals and the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit. He also called for the formal inclusion of the mining marshals in the Connect initiative, stressing the need to target the illegal exploitation of mineral resources sources that can finance terrorism. Atta further called for more training in terrorism-related issues, regional intelligence, and peer learning. Now, in a separate development, retailers across Nigeria are counting their losses following the enforcement of the ban on sachet alcohol and alcoholic drinks in glass bottles below 200 milliliters by NAFDAC. The ban follows a phase-out agreement reached in 2018 with the 5-year grace period ending in January 2024. NAFDAC says the restriction is aimed at reducing alcohol abuse, particularly among underage persons, commercial drivers, and other vulnerable groups. But petty traders say the enforcement has led to seizures of their stock, reduced sales, and threatened their livelihoods. During a protest in Ibadan, Oyo State, the concerned drink sellers, distributors, and traders across Nigeria said many of its members had taken loans to establish their businesses and were now struggling to repay them. The traders appealed to President Bola Tinubu and NAFDAC to reconsider the enforcement, insisting that they should not be blamed for underage alcohol consumption. NAFDAC's deputy director and head of its Southwest Zonal Office, Isaac Kolawole, said the agency was only carrying out its statutory regulatory duties. He, however, assured the protesters that their grievances would be forwarded to the agency's Director General. Now turning to what's happening outside Nigeria, the Democratic Republic of Congo is battling the deadliest Ebola outbreak in its history, with more than 2,300 people dead and thousands more infected. Health authorities say 2,325 people have died, while 4,945 confirmed cases have been recorded as of August 16. The outbreak, declared on May 15, was caused by the rare Bundibugyo strain of Ebola first detected in Ituri province. The WHO says the virus has spread to 6 of Congo's 26 provinces, with health authorities recording 101 new cases in a single 24-hour period. Unlike the Zaire strain, responsible for several major Ebola outbreaks, there is currently no licensed vaccine or specific treatment approved for the Bundibugyo strain. The WHO says insecurity, population movement, and pressure on the health system are making confinement more difficult. The outbreak has also crossed Congo's borders, with cases reported in Uganda, while an infected humanitarian worker was treated in Germany after being evacuated from Congo. Health experts say the rising death toll is also linked to delayed diagnosis and treatment, with the fatality rate increasing from about 20% in early June to 46% by August 16. And outside Africa, a powerful 7.7 magnitude earthquake in eastern Indonesia has killed 54 people, injured more than 100, and displaced about 12,800 residents in Flores Island. Many survivors spent a third night outside their homes, camping at schools, police stations, and government offices, after more than 1,600 aftershocks were recorded. At least 914 houses were severely damaged, while several schools, health facilities, and government buildings were also affected. Residents in Mbe, the town closest to the epicenter, say many homes are no longer safe to enter. The Indonesian Air Force is delivering 13 tons of emergency supplies, including food, clean water, clothing, and medical equipment, while helicopters are being used to reach isolated communities. Rescuers are continuing land and air operations, although officials say there are no reports of missing persons. The earthquake struck off the north coast of Flores. The region has a history of major earthquakes, including a 7.7 magnitude earthquake in 1992 that triggered a tsunami and killed about 2,500 people. Now moving on to business news with Karimat Hassan. Hello, Karimat.
Good day and welcome to S24 Business News. Universal Insurance has secured 7.1 billion naira in fresh investment through a private placement as part of efforts to recapitalize the company and strengthen its financial position. The new investment is expected to boost insurance capital base and provide more financial capacity to support its operations and long-term growth. The move comes as insurance companies across Nigeria continue to raise fresh capital to meet regulatory requirements set by the National Insurance Commission, NICOM. The recapitalization exercise is aimed at strengthening the insurance industry, improving insurance ability to absorb risk, and ensuring they have enough capital to meet their obligations to policyholders. Meanwhile, investors' demand for capital Central Bank of Nigeria's open market operation, OMO, has reached 4.93 trillion naira. The demand was driven by attractive yields as investors continue to look for opportunities that offer competitive returns. Demand significantly exceeded the amount of OMO bills available, showing strong appetite for high-yielding naira assets and continued investor interest in Nigeria's fixed income markets. On the international scene, emerging markets are attracting a fresh wave of investment as global investors diversify their portfolios. More than $214 billion have flowed into emerging market debt through July, marking the strongest inflows in more than 2 decades. Countries including Nigeria are benefiting from the renewed interest as investors look beyond traditional developed markets for better returns. Emerging market governments have also issued about $187 billion in bonds by the middle of the year, reflecting increased borrowing activity. However, analysts say risks remain, including global interest rates, geopolitical tensions, and uncertainty around economic growth. Despite these challenges, the strong inflows point to growing investor confidence in emerging markets. And these are the latest business updates. I'm Karimat Hassan. Up next is our newspaper review. Just stay with us.
Hi, my name is Hawa Shakir Owodini, and shout out to S24 for this interview. It was so smooth and so clean. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Karimat Hassan, and welcome back from that break. Now to our next segment, the newspaper review with Abubakar Turaki. Hello, Abubakar.
Hello.
It's a pleasure to have you here as always.
Happy New Week.
Happy New Week to you too. So let's quickly get straight into the business of today, and we'll be looking at our first newspaper. We'll be taking a look at The Guardian, and on the front page it says, "Stop blaming past governors for refineries woes. Atiku tells Tinubu." Now, our former vice president is taking a swipe at President Tinubu. Let's hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, Atiku has the right to do that as a concerned Nigerian and also a godfather in Nigerian politics.
Yeah.
Because he cannot underestimate the power of someone that has been the governor and also 8-year vice president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But I want to understand what Atiku is doing. Is it he's doing from the bottom of his heart, wanted to salvage Nigerian pens, or he's just doing as a campaign tool? Because I believe Atiku Abubakar was the first person that even came up with that initiative in one of his campaign. I could remember the video I saw vividly in one of the campaign podium. He was even saying, we are going to sell NMPC. He even stated that in Hausa, Zamu sayar da company matatan man fetur, and the gullible Nigerians were chanting, "Da ku saya, will you buy?" They say, "Will you buy?" And subsequently, he was unable to emerge as the winner. And subsequently, President Tinubu came in 2023. And when President Tinubu came on the 29th of May, that was 2023, he made that blunt statement that subsidy has gone. And last week, we saw a delegation of Nupeng and Pengasan when they visited the president. The president assured them that they are going to revive the Nigerian refineries, which comprise of the refinery in Port Harcourt, Wari, and even Kaduna. And what he said, President Tinubu stated it clear that he came and inherited a dilapidated country from his own predecessor.
Yeah, which is where I was also driving at, because do you think it is fair at this point for Atiku rather to shift the blame to the current administration, looking at the fact that the issue of the refineries started from decades before now? So who really should take responsibility? Should it be past administration the current administration or the NNPC itself?
It's a collective responsibility, and Atiku Abubakar should be the first person to take the blow. If you remember a book by Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai, Accidental Public Servant, when Atiku was the chair on privatization and commercialization policy, where most of the government assets were being sold, Atiku was part and parcel of people that did that. I think by that time, they could have not initiated that privatization and commercialization policy. Maybe by that period, they could have pushed more emphasis on the government to at least do the needful so that the countries will continue to at least enjoy the mighty elephant project, which is the NNPC. And blaming the government of President Tinubu, I think Atiku is not justifiable to blame him, even though President Tinubu was the person that said that he's going to do the job. So I believe this kind of rejoinder and this kind of backlash may likely come from people like Atiku Abubakar, because it's their own duty as their own members of the opposition. Especially, I always stated that most of Nigerian politicians lack ideology, and I also want to reiterate now, we like ideological politics. All what we're after slogan and mantra, which is we just wanted to capture power. But if Atiku Abubakar will make that statement, well, fine. I believe Tinubu may likely listen to him, and he may likely stop blaming the past leaders. Whatever has happened in the past has already happened. So let us just focus on the future and let's move.
Yeah, let's focus on the future and move. There is a lot I want to say on this, but because of time, we have to quickly move to our second newspaper, and we'll be taking a look at the Daily Trust. We're talking about the Osun election and how Osun election was won and lost. I've been eagerly waiting to have this conversation with you. So let me hear your thoughts on, everything that happened over the weekend.
Well, congratulations to Nigerian democracy, and congratulations to Africa, and congratulations to the good people of Osun. That is to tell them that 4 years of dancing.
Okay. But before we go and dive into the Osun election, let's take a quick break, and when we come back, newspaper review continues. Stay with us. So quickly, before we go to, I want to know, what lessons do you think that the opposition parties, especially the APC, what do they need to learn from what happened in Osun? Because, you've rightly said that everything that happens in Osun will be a litmus test for 2027. So looking at how everything has played, what lessons should parties that are serious about clinching a seat in 2027, what should they be looking at?
Grassroots politics is very, very important.
Yes.
Because Adeleke was able to at least hold water with his own grassroots people. And politics, I said every time, is local. Politics is not carried out in Abuja. It is only governance that is carried out in Abuja. You can't just be here in Abuja and expect that after 4 years, your people are going to vote for you.
Yeah.
Adeleke was able to at least push down his own governance into the lower people. And we saw how the Osun people were able to at least show sympathy, and they voted for him, which he was able to at least secure additional second term. And it's also his influence of his nephew also played a vital role. And also at this juncture, I want to make it clear to our people that, especially the young people, the young politicians that wanted to aspire and even hold public office, if you really want to make it, join active politics. You should not mind joining APC or PDP. Find a party that is called yours, not necessarily joining a political party. Eschew politics. Present a candidate, and at the tail end, those elderly politicians, I so much like to use gerontocratic politician, will likely be the SA and PS of younger politicians. And younger politicians are going to make a tremendous effort, if not just because of the influence of Davido. Davido is a young person, and I believe he played a vital role in the Ademola Jackson victory. And may democracy continue to flourish in Nigeria. And congratulations, Governor Adeleke.
Yes, may democracy continue to flourish. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us. And unfortunately, because of time, that's what we can take today on our newspaper review. Up next is S24 Report, coming to you after the break. Stay with us.
Several elections have come and gone, yet questions around the credibility of Nigeria's electoral process still remain. Ahead of the 2027 general elections, is INEC ready for a free, fair and credible elections? Let's hear from Nigerians.
Sure, of course. We believe that, it's nothing INEC cannot do at this point, presently. Leading I believe, say, It's better for Nigeria, better for all. Now.
I don't think INEC are fully ready for this election. I think there are still other issues that needs to be settled.
I wouldn't say, or I've not thought towards that direction, but it's INEC. They've always done what they do. Like people that watch football, when they're watching football, they say if I be that guy for playing like this, most time you're not wearing the shoes. Doesn't know, you don't know where it hurts. You don't wear the shoes, don't know how it fits.
The way things are moving now in this country, it's like they are ready to do things right by this time, and we pray so that everything will become good for us in this country by God's grace.
INEC has been better than the past, but I'll say that we are not there yet. A free election depends on, it's not just about INEC, it's about the political parties, the voters, and other members that makes up an election.
My viewing about the upcoming election is that I do not see anywhere that INEC will going to give us a free and fair election.
My biggest concern for this election when they come up, we say, bro, see, it's far. How do better Nigeria we do?
I'm not satisfied because it seems like most people that voted, their votes didn't count, but then still go out and vote. At least the opportunity for them to rig the election will be slim.
If people come out and vote, I believe we'll get free and fair. I remember the last election. In my environment, people stood their grounds, even when the police insisted in taking the ballots away because it was past voting time. People insisted that no, they must finish counting the votes before the police could leave. And because the police could not fight everybody, they stood and waited for the agents to count the votes. So everything in the hands of the people.
The transparency of if they improve the transparency of the election, everything will be good.
The biggest concern about it is that Nigerian citizens need to become as one. What we need to demand is a good governance. We should not focus on seeing the ethnicity, the religion diversity, and the rest. What we need to do is for us to demand for a good governance. That is it.
With the 2027 general elections drawing closer, the big question remains: is INEC truly ready and prepared to deliver a free, fair, and credible election? Well, we'll wait and see. I am Gladys Asuko, reporting for S24 Television.
In the bustling Dakar suburb of Keur Mbaye 4, social entrepreneur Astou Sako, a proud Senegalese woman, has transformed a beloved local beverage sourced from hibiscus flowers into a resource for the socio-economic empowerment of women across Senegal. One will struggle to find someone in Senegal who doesn't like bissap. Extracted from white or red hibiscus flower, the cooled in finger. The upscaling guarantees the quality of the final product while fostering sustainable job creation, significantly strengthening the financial independence of the women involved.
Having lived in the extreme poverty myself, I want to stay close to the community. My goal is to support them so that the next generation does not face the same difficulties we did.
The innovation
work we are doing, we're able to provide for ourselves and our children. Today, we're self-sufficient, we process our products, sell them, and are independent. We don't envy those who work in offices because we manage our own activities, organize our own turn times, and take control of our future. And that's real progress.
The product exchange is pragmatic and strategic. Women from the Kadogo region in the east of the country transport their local products such as palm oil, soap, and bleach to Dakar. In return, the entrepreneurs in Dakar supply the Kadogo counterparts with processed bissap and lemon, a commodity of more accessible near the capital. This modernized batching system allows each network to diversify its commercial offerings without depleting its own regional resources. thereby maximizing margins and supply security for all members.
The machines are not sufficient, and the premises are too small. We want to expand, create a real industry in the future, set up a distribution system to sell in supermarkets, export our products abroad, and recruit more women.
Beyond the purely economic logic, this partnership cements essential social cohesion. It creates a crucial safety net for women from different socio-economic backgrounds, forging bonds of solidarity that are paramount, given that African women are often the first victim of economic shocks. The scale of this initiative testifies to its success. The network of engaged women of Kalugu has structured itself into a national force, currently boasting over 1,800 active members. Its territorial reach is impressive. It operates 26 branches in the rural department of Kalugu, Saraya, and Selmata, and has established 10 branches in Dakar's urban areas, ensuring coordination that extends across all 14 regions of Senegal.
Nous pouvons aussi noter que les femmes aussi sont en train
We can also note that women are becoming increasingly active in economic interest groups such as EIGs. Within these EIGs, they process food and agricultural products that they then sell on the market. This provides them with a small income to meet their families' needs.
pour faire face aussi aux besoins de leur famille.
According to Senegal's National Agency for Statistics and Demography, although women represent nearly 60% of the non-agricultural informal sector workforce, they only access about 30% of formal bank credit. Solid structures like Astu SACCOs are essential for navigating these barriers by providing easy access to resources, technical trainings, and crucially, a reliable distribution network. The network serves as a powerful lever for formalizing economic activity and enhancing the financial inclusion of women. These initiatives are not mere acts of substance. They are models of investment in the future. By transforming local products like bisap, lemon, or palm oil, structured economic opportunities, these women are redefining their central role in the national socio-economic fabric.
Sometimes, some women want to start their own businesses, but it remains difficult with the limited resources they have. I encourage them to persevere. I can provide you with financial support so that you can turn to another activity, such as reality, for example.
The model demonstrated by Tahuwu Sugnugog and its interregional network provides that inclusive and sustainable development in Senegal inevitably depends on investment in structured female entrepreneurship. These collective efforts inspire other communities to replicate this synergy, paving a path where solidarity and social innovation become the standard for Senegal's new generation of female entrepreneurs.
This is Political Arena here on S24 television. Today we are looking at a caution that has generated a serious concern across Nigeria. For decades, northern Nigeria has struggled with challenges ranging from insecurity, poverty, poor education and unemployment, to weak infrastructure, political instability and limited economic opportunity across. But the bigger question is, who is responsible and what can be done to change the situation? Is the problem caused by government failure, poor leadership, insecurity, or the educational system, traditional institution, political elite, or those people that are saddled with the responsibilities? To discuss this issue, I am joined by Naja'atu Abbas, a freedom fighter, an outspoken voice on issues affecting the northern Nigeria. Naja'atu, welcome to Political Arena here on S24, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Abubakar, for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Naja'atu, let me ask you, is northern Nigeria actually falling behind?
Yes, northern Nigeria is actually falling behind because when we look at the insecurity ravaging the region, poor governance, poverty, lack of education, out of school children, these are the basic things that every region needs the government to pay proper attention on. And we lack those things. Definitely northern Nigeria is falling behind due to lack of proper education, out of school children, because northern Nigeria has the highest number of out of school children. Yes. Ranging from, according to National Bureau of Statistics, from numbers on the chart, from numbers 1 to number 19 on that chart, they are all northern states. Starting from Kebbi State, which has 69.7% of out-of-school children. You understand? That is 7 in every 10 children in Kebbi State are out of school.
7 in every 10?
In every 10 children are out of school in Kebbi State, yes. And 82% of Kebbi population are living in multidimensional poverty. You understand? So definitely that will hinder growth. It will hinder development. Where we have states like Anambra State with only 2% of its population, of its children population that are out of school. You understand? They say children are the leaders of tomorrow, but I don't think that statement also implies to us as Northerners, because what will happen in the next 20 to 30 years?
According to the data you get from MBS, so what is the government doing in order to change the narrative differently? Because I even saw there you have been going against the mass wedding that happened in Kano State. So what is the government doing differently?
The government, I think, if there's leadership problem, there's followership problem. You understand? The government knows us very well. They know us as followers, as those people that are obedient towards anything our religious lyrics says. Okay, marriage is good. I'm not disputing that fact. I'm a product of marriage, so I would say marriage is not good. But what seems to be the solution is already the problem that we have.
What do you mean?
Okay. Marriage is not a solution. You understand? Kebbi State is first on that list with 69.7% of its children out of school. You understand? From the ages of 6 to 15, they are out of school. But Kebbi State were the first this year to sponsor mass wedding. Maybe it's not as loud as that of Kano.
Don't you think that maybe these are all part of social intervention programs from the government?
How can people that cannot afford a one-off dowry, one-off marriage expense, be able to cater for family, for a whole family?
Well, sometimes it is the duty of the government to provide the basic necessity for its citizens.
What are they doing about the out-of-school children? We have dilapidated schools, buildings that needs the government intervention. Why not channel that energy towards that? We've already have enough children running on the streets. You understand? Those children that we are seeing, Abubakar, they are a ticking time bomb. They are the potential Boko Haram. God forbid, I'm not.
We are not praying for that.
Yes, but they are. I used to say this: the future of insecurity in the north is already secured. We have this amount of children roaming about on the streets. What do you think will happen in the next 20 to 30 years? The potential Boko Haram and the terrorists we are dealing with right now used to be those children roaming on the street. Let me give you this example. Had it been you have a child, a 6-7-year-old child, you took him from school, maybe, then you were going home. Then, okay, maybe traffic stopped you along the way. You bought 2,000 naira ice cream for that boy. And under that scorching sun, another child of his age came to your window begging for something, you know, the way they are doing. Okay, then he sees a child of his age under AC licking ice cream in his father's car while he's outside under scorching sun, barefooted, sometimes with ripped clothes. You understand? Half naked. I promise you, he will feel something.
So who is to be blamed?
The government.
Not the family, not the parents?
The government first. There's this time that my governor used to daga Allah say gwamnati. The government is responsible for that. The government is responsible for enlightening the people. Not all of our people are aware of birth control.
Let me ask you, you made mention of people, most especially in the northern Nigeria, are living in multidimensional poverty. So why is it up to this material moment the government is yet to address the problem of poverty despite a lot of intervention from the government? We saw the mass Kano wedding, we saw a lot of intervention from the government. Why do we get it wrong?
Because political interventions are mostly political, not systemic. You understand? They are there. You can't spray money on poverty and expect it to disappear. How can a state like Kano State with 39.2, I think 0.3 of out-of-school children sponsor a mass wedding of 1,500 couple? We are talking about 3,000 people. We are talking about 1,500 babies next year. We are talking about 700 potential divorce. You understand?
Well, these are all predictions.
They are facts. They are not predictions. If you cannot afford Leafy, 100,000 naira dowry, how can you cater for a woman, a pregnant woman? Don't forget that some of them are having a second, third wives. An 80-year-old man with a third wife. Are they really helping? Because all I see is political dominance.
Well, you call it political dominance as a concerned Nigerians, but based on what they say, these are social intervention programs. Well, let's go for a short break. When we return, the conversation is going to continue. Remember, you are still watching Political Arena here on S24 television. We are going for a short break, and when we return, the conversation will continue.
Good day and welcome to Security Update on S24 Rundown, where we bring you the latest developments from Nigerians' fight against terrorism, kidnapping and other security threats. From air operations targeting terrorists in Niger State to a police raid that rescued kidnapped victims in Imo and the search for a missing 19-year-old woman in Ekiti. Here are the details. The Nigerian Air Force is sustaining air operations against terrorist elements in Mariga, local government area of Niger State. The operations, conducted in coordination with ground forces under the Joint Task Force Northwest Area of Operations, followed intelligence on terrorist movements around Marbuya, Sangeko, Kampani Bobi, and surrounding areas. The Air Force says its craft carried out sustained armed reconnaissance and surveillance missions, during which terrorists were observed moving on motorcycles and alongside rustled cattle. The terrorists reportedly fled and sought cover after sighting the aircraft before they were engaged from the air. The NAV says the operation disrupted the terrorist movements and activities in the area. It added that sustained surveillance and coordination between air and ground forces are aimed at denying terrorists the freedom to move, assemble, and operate within the Joint Task Force Northwest operational area. The service says it will continue intelligence-driven air operations in support of surface forces to protect communities and degrade terrorist networks. In Imo State, 2 suspected kidnappers have been killed and 2 kidnapped victims rescued during the gun battle between security operatives and kidnappers in the forest. The operation followed intelligence that led police operatives and local vigilantes to the location where the victims were being held. According to the police, the kidnappers opened fire on the security team, leading to a gun battle. 2 suspects were neutralized, while others escaped with gunshot injuries. The 2 kidnapped victims were rescued unharmed. However, a vigilante member involved in the operation sustained a gunshot injury and later died in the hospital. The police say the case is now under investigation by the State Criminal Investigation Department in Owerri State. And in Ekiti State, police have launched an investigation into the disappearance of 19-year-old Dandam Happiness. The police say Happiness left her residence in Ado Ekiti at about 4 p.m. on August 10th and has not returned. She is described as about 4.5 feet tall, fair in complexion, without tribal marks and fluent in English. According to the police, efforts by her relatives and friends to locate her have so far been unsuccessful. The command says it has commenced investigations to establish her whereabouts and ensure her safe return. The command is also appealing to residents who share the information widely to assist the police and her family in finding her. And that is the latest on our security updates. Stay with us for more updates as they develop, and remember to stay safe.
From fresh innovation challenges in Nigeria to the infrastructure challenges facing artificial intelligence and new developments in the global tech market, here are today's tech updates. The Naseni Innovation Hub has kicked off its 5-day Future Makers virtual build print. The program brings together 60 shortlisted local innovators to develop solutions to regional challenge statements. The goal is to turn local ideas into practical innovation that can help address real challenges. Now, from developing homegrown solutions, we move to the infrastructure needed to power the next wave of AI. Across the continent, industry discussions are examining whether infrastructure limitations are slowing down large-scale AI deployment. Concerns include unreliable power, limited memory capacity, and the availability of advanced chips. These challenges could determine how quickly businesses and institutions can adopt AI at scale. And while infrastructure remains a concern, investor confidence in AI continues to drive the global technology market. Global technology stocks have risen following strong revenue reports from AI company Anthropic. The performance is threatening expectation that companies will continue increasing their spending on AI. Now, we'll move to the final story. The development from Nigeria's capital markets, where a planned technology-related pricing change has been put on hold. The Nigerian Exchange Group has postponed the rollout of its updated pricing framework. The delay is to allow for further engagement with stakeholders. For now, the existing trading brands remain in place. And that's a tech update for today, from innovation and AI to global markets and Nigeria's exchange. Stay informed, stay connected, and keep watching. Thanks for watching.
It's Monday, and I bring you stories making headlines in the entertainment world today. As Burna Boy reignites the Big Three debate, Nigerian artists clash with Dapper Music over financial and catalog issues, and Hollywood mourns the death of actress Hayden Panettiere. Here are the details. Afrobeat superstar Burna Boy has reignited the running debate over Nigeria's so-called Big Three. During a recent live performance, the Grammy-winning artist challenged the idea that he, Wizkid, and Davido should not be grouped in the same category. Burna Boy has urged fans to reject the Big Three label, insisting that there should be Big Two, with Burna Boy standing apart. His comments have sparked fresh conversations among fans over the rankings, influence, and global impact of Nigeria's biggest Afrobeat stars. Meanwhile, tension between Dapper Music and some of its former and current artists have intensified. Charlie Poppy, Sheyi Vibes, T.I. Blaze, and Zeritel D.E. have raised allegations involving unpaid royalties, streaming revenues, and the handling of their music catalogs. Charlie Poppy has alleged that more than $1 million is owed to him, while concerns have also raised over distributions and catalog agreements involving foreign companies including Virgin Music. Dapper Music, however, has denied any wrongdoings, maintaining that its contracts are fair, transparent, and agreed upon with legal representation. The label has called for formal financial audits and legal proceedings to resolve the disputes. And in Hollywood, fans are mourning the death of actress Hayden Panettiere at the age of 36. Her father, Skip Panettiere, confirmed her death, describing her as an incredible light who brought love and joy to millions. Penetia rose to fame as Clary Burnett in the hit series Heroes. She also starred in the popular films Remember the Titans and Raising Helen. She was later widely recognized for playing Juliet Berners in the television drama Nashville. Details surrounding her death have not been disclosed, while her family have asked for privacy during this difficult time. And from Burna Boy's latest comment on Afrobeat hierarchy, to the ongoing dispute between Dapper Music and Nigerian artists, and the tragic loss of Hayden, the entertainment scene remained filled with major developments. I am Lennis Kuyet for S24 Television. Thanks for watching.
It was a weekend packed with big wins, historic moments, and major moves across the world of sport. Welcome to Sports Update on S24 Rundown. I am Udokan Godspa. We start in Cardiff, where Arsenal have lifted the Community Shield after beating Manchester City 3-0. Ricardo Calafiore gave Arsenal the lead before Kai Havertz doubled their advantage in the 28th minute. The Gunners then added a third after halftime to complete a convincing victory over Enzo Maresca's Manchester City. The result gives Arsenal their 18th Community Shield title, extending their record in the competition and giving Mikel Arteta's side an early piece of silverware ahead of the new season. And while Arsenal began their campaign with a trophy, another major final was producing history in Morocco. Cameroon have won their first Women's African Cup of Nations title after defeating Malawi 3-0 in the final. Ngamanga scored twice with another first-half goal, completing the victory and giving the indomitable Lionesses their first continental crown. Malawi also enjoyed a historic tournament, reaching their first WAFCON final and securing World Cup qualification. Their striker Temwa Chawinga finished as the Golden Boot winner with 5 goals, while Cameroon goalkeeper Micheli Binhina claimed the Golden Glove after 4 clean sheets and 19 saves. And from one African football story to a Nigerian making a move in England, Taiwo Awoniyi is heading into a new chapter. Coventry City have agreed a permanent deal to sign the Nigerian striker from Nottingham Forest, where he will be joining fellow national teammate Frank Onyeka. The move will see Awoniyi work under manager Frank Lampard as Coventry look to add more firepower to their attack. And finally, from the transfer market to the basketball court, Nigeria's Junior D Tigers have fallen short in their title bid. The Junior D Tigers lost 77-68 to Mali in the FIBA Under-18 Women's Afro Basket Final as Mali secured their 10th continental title and 3rd consecutive championship. Despite the defeat, Nigeria alongside Mali will still represent Africa at the 2027 FIBA Under-19 Women's Basketball World Cup in China. And that's a wrap on today's sports updates. Coming up next is Pidgin News with Shukra.
Hi, my name is Hawa Shakir Owodini, and shout out to S24 for this interview. It was so smooth and so clean. Thank you so much.
First, we will land for Osun State as Governor Ademola Adeleke don't comot to beg everybody Day after he not elect they victorious for this election wey they do this Saturday. Adeleke carry 511,067 votes, beat APC candidate Bola Oyebamiji, we get 444,815 votes. But as it be so, APC say them they study the results to know whether them will carry the matter go tribunal. President Bola Tinubu don't even come out congratulate him, say make he use this second time unite everybody. And from Osun, we don't enter the nation's capital, Abuja, where former Kaduna State Governor Nasiru El-Rufai don't drag ICPC go Federal High Court in the demand for 10 billion naira. And this one are because ICPC no allow make him wife and son come see him as a day custody. They don't even allow them make them bring food or medicine among this court case. And now we go look security matter. United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, UNODC, don't tell Nigerian mining marshals make them join hands together. And this one are because illegal mining don't they connect with bad guys and terror financing. This one means say terror money. Them now plan to launch one special initiative with them they call Connect Initiative by November 2026 to bust this criminal network with they everywhere for the country. And now we don't eventually reach a retailer side. Retailers across the country, they yarn and they complain because NAFDAC don't start to enforce ban on sachet alcohol and small bottle drinks below 200 milliliter. Traders for Ibadan even do protests, say make federal government pity them. Many of them collect loan to do this business, and now they use feed their family and they use clothes them. But NAFDAC saying that their work them they do to protect underage children and drivers, make them also get access to alcohol again to prevent accidents and underage abuse. And we don't eventually reach Obodo Ibo, where they hit DR Congo, where we they talk as we they talk so. Them they face the deadliest Ebola outbreak for their history. Over 2,300 people don't die, and confirmed cases don't reach 4,945 as of August 16. And now the rare Bundibugyo strain Kosam, as it be so, no vaccine or specific treatment day yet for this particular strain. And WHO don't talk say local health workers they run helter-skelter to control them before it spread past as it be so. And finally, we don't reach Indonesia, where heavy earthquake of 7.7 magnitude shake Flores Island. At least 54 people don't lose their lives, over 100 injury, and more than 12,800 people they displaced. Over 1,600 aftershocks don't happen, making people they sleep outside school and police station and anywhere they find. Government don't send rescue team and 13 tons of emergency relief materials to help the survivors. God go help them. My people, and now here we go wrap up today S24 Pidgin. Make una stay safe. We go see again tomorrow.
Thank you, Shukra, for the Pidgin version of our news. And this brings us to the end of S24 News Rundown. Do join us next time, and remember to follow us on all our social media platforms at S24 Television for more updates and breaking stories. My name is Gloria Atta. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.